Hope you're doing all right. It is 6:15 a.m. We're going to get started with some mobility. For those of you who are watching, my name is Toby. I am 40 years old and I train to live an active, self-sufficient and adventurous life. I'm about an hour later than I usually am live, but that's because I got home late yesterday, so I decided to sleep a bit longer. But here we are, and we're just going to get right into the routine as we talk. So, like I said, my name is Toby. I am 40 years old. I was traveling yesterday and the day before, and now we're back at home with the regular setup, going through the regular motions, keeping up with the routine. This is about the way I feel, not about the way I look. I would like to feel fit and competent and capable for life. Just breathing in and out. The way I do that is I try to mind my sleep. I try to get between 7 and 9 hours in a day or a night. I try to mind what I eat. I eat within my energy balance. I try to eat whole, healthy foods, and I try to eat 120 to 150 grams of protein in a day to support the muscle maintenance and muscle growth goals that I have. On top of that, I do strength training, mobility training, and conditioning training. I go running once a week. Most of the week I'm using kettlebells, or I'm doing mobility here at home. Like I said, it's about the way I feel, not about the way I look. I want to feel fit, capable, and competent for what life throws at me. I would like to have the stamina to move as fast as I can for a minute. I'd like to have the conditioning to be able to go on a 30-minute, 60-minute walk. I would like to be able to lift something of about 20 or 30 kilos off the ground without fear of injuring myself. And I would like to overall just be ready and able for whatever life is going to throw at me, which, if you think about it, could be a lot. So that's why we're doing this, and that's why I show up every day to make the most of the workout and the time. Hey, how's it going? It's good to see you. I hope you're doing all right. I saw that you've been keeping up with your workouts and that the challenges are going well. And it's nice to be on a time again where you can catch me, because probably the last 2 days time difference was probably hard. As you can see, I seem to have refound my rhythm. I don't know if that bug left me or if I got a bit more sunshine. Combination of both. Well, and I appreciate you having supported me. back to the point where we seem to have a good rhythm and ongoing training program again. Now let's get my shoulders fixed, and then we come back to the heavy duty work and move on from just swings to some presses and some snatches again. But that's going to take a few weeks. So, if you're watching and you're wondering why a 40-year-old dude is streaming his workout or his morning routine, it's because it's a lot more fun to work out while you're chatting to some people in the morning, first of all. And second of all, it's because I believe that there are many people my age who maybe want to have a bit of encouragement and maybe someone to chat to about where they are on their journey, and hear about where I am on my journey. Because getting fit and healthy requires effort, time, knowledge. It's a skill. Johnny D, yo. Thanks for dropping by and saying hi. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you dropping by and saying hello. I really do. Very good. So you're trying to recover for tomorrow. So you've been working out hard. Is your body giving you signals that you're recovering well? That's always the one I find hard to look out for, is what's my body telling me today and how hard can I push it given what it's telling me. Not how hard do I want to go, but how hard will my body let me go given what I can and cannot do. So, why would you be interested in what I'm doing? Well, like I said, I'm 40 years old, and I am training to live an active, self-sufficient, and adventurous life. That means that, for example, we are going to go on a holidays to the mountains, me and my family, 2 sons, wife, and we are going to do a lot of walking up and down mountains. And for a large part of those walks, I am probably going to end up carrying around 15 kilos on my back. Now, I think if you are regularly fit and healthy, as in you don't work out 5 times a week, but you work out once or twice, and you maybe have some regular cardiovascular conditioning going on, you're probably going to do okay, right? Holiday like that. But we're going to be hiking 10, 15 kilometers every day. And I would just like to make damn sure that I'm not only able to keep up with my family, but let's say something goes wrong or we need to hurry up or down a mountain with 2 kids, or need to be able to move and scramble down a hillside or up a hillside for whatever reason, that I am physically able and capable to do all of that and more, right? That's what this is about. So, it's about having the physical ability the strength, the conditioning, the range of motion, the confidence to be able to deal with whatever life is going to throw at me. And doesn't mean you need to look like Superman. I need to deadlift 200 kilos and bench press 200 kilos. But I think just being able to do those 200 kettlebell swings in 10 minutes is a part of that equation. Being able to press the kettlebell overhead 5 times, being able to pull myself up 2 or 3 times in a row is a part of that equation. Being able to do push-ups, being able to go for a 30-minute run or 60-minute run is a part of that equation. I think we sometimes forget that strength conditioning training not about looking good for the beach body, and that's what everyone talks about. And sure, if that's one of your goals, that's completely fine, because health and fitness is incredibly personal. But I'd say that we do good to remember that actually the reason we want to train our health and fitness is to put off the onset of preventable diseases, discomfort, as well as preparing ourselves to continue to participate and enjoy everyday life without the aid of others, without needing to rely on help and support for as long as we can, because we're going to live relatively long. If we're not careful, we're going to live long but not be too happy about it. All right, it's busy on chat this morning, people. YouTube Punk, good morning. I am very happy to see you here. Is that Goga or G Love Ga? Hey, thanks for dropping by and saying hi. It's good to see you. And welcome to my channel. I don't think we've ever spoken before. And YouTube Punk's here. Very good. Sleep well. Poor man Jim. See you next time. All right. And en route to work. Well, thanks for dropping by. Everyone's friend's Jeff. Hey Jeff, what are you watching? You are watching my morning routine. My name's Toby. I'm 40 years old, and I train to live an active, self-sufficient, and adventurous life. And I do that by minding how much I sleep, how I eat, and I train strength, conditioning, and mobility on a daily basis. In a live stream, when we talk about fitness and life. YouTube Punk, I hope you're doing well. How's Texas? I hope everything's going all right. And I hope you've noticed that I seem to have refound my stride. Even managed to continue to work out despite traveling for business. It was actually fun working out from a hotel room and a hotel gym, streaming from there. So good times all together. Hey, and here we are. So, Jeff, today I'm doing mobility routine. I'm just talking about some of the challenges we might face in life and why staying fit and healthy into our 40s and beyond actually is important and probably is going to make life more fun and enjoyable for us, even if we maybe don't want to admit that that is going to be the case. By the way, the family might start waking up, so I might have to cut the stream short, but I'm incredibly happy to see all of you on chat dropping by and asking questions and talking. So let's talk about one of those other challenges. So you travel for business, right? And these are long days. You fly, you have meetings, you have an evening program. There was some drinking involved. I think I managed to do quite well with the drinks. I had like one large beer. Monday night, Tuesday night, I had some champagne. And since we were in Ireland, some champagne means one glass of champagne. And since we were in Ireland, one of my favorite whiskeys, because I lived there for a while actually, about 13 years ago when I started my career, was from a local brand there, which just has a very fine, satisfying, almost sweet taste. So I had that one glass of champagne, and then later on in the evening I had that one glass of whiskey. But you wake up and you feel slightly not so sharp. Now, first of all, just having the general strength and conditioning to keep up with life is a good thing, right? Especially when you have a busy 3 days like that. You know, you're sleeping in a hotel. It's not the same as sleeping at home, close to the people you love and care about. But sometimes also good to be away for a bit to remind you of what you have at home. But if you then do your workouts in the morning, not only does the slight discomfort of travel wear off a bit easier, you actually feel a bit better after those nights out and all of that socializing, because it's time to focus on yourself and on what you're doing. And it's important to remember that that's something that we would want to continue doing, to feel that way and to bring that energy to the day with friends and colleagues. Always have to check in with myself, see how I'm doing. So I have moves from different kinds of sports and activities just mixed in here to my mobility routine. The downward dog is one of them. I find it quite enjoyable, actually. It's a good stretch that I've added to the routine. I just need to add a good hamstring stretch because of the amount of kettlebell swings that I'm doing. Monday, both of my hamstrings cramped up at the end of the day after a day of sitting. Wasn't pleasant. So I guess if you do 200 kettlebell swings in the morning, you need to remedy that a little bit. So anyway, that's what we're up to here. Nothing special, just going about a daily routine that is designed to keep us fit and healthy and capable for whatever life is going to throw at us. Right? So we're going to build some strength, build some conditioning, build a bit of muscle, lose a bit of weight or lean out a little bit. Probably it's hard to not lose weight when you're swinging a 16 or 20 or 24 kilo kettlebell around for 20 or 30 minutes in a day. We're going to build that stamina and conditioning over time. And you can see I've been at this for a while now, and it's serving me well, which is why I keep coming back to it, right? We talk a lot about being consistent finding something that we enjoy. So if you enjoy a different kind of workout, you don't have to do what I'm doing, because I'm doing what works for me. You need to do what works for you, right? And there are tons and tons of people trying to get you to follow along on their routines, their workouts. Well, there's some things that probably need to be mindful of, but I don't have to explain to you how charlatans on the internet work. People are going to be trying to sell you stuff. They're going to be trying to get you to do things, to pay them money for basically advice you can get for free, or that's commonsensical, or in the worst case, that's not truthful, right? And I think that's the most egregious of all of the content, where they're selling you a fad or a scam and presenting it as scientific fact or truth, whereas it's not. It's not even an anecdote, it's just something they made up to make some money off us. Because the basics are relatively simple, right? The basics of health and fitness. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know what I'm going to say next. The basics are sleep, making sure you're resting and recovering, eating well 95% of the time, and that means eating within your energy balance, eating fibrous whole foods, eating vegetables that are fresh, properly cooked or prepared. Drink reasonable portions for the energy expenditure you have. And then there's exercise that you can or cannot do. I love that mobility. Right there. All right. I'm going to do a little bit of core. And then we're going to call it a morning. I'm going to have a cup of coffee. It is absolutely true. Yes. The amount of utility I have gotten out of kettlebells in the last year and 2 months has absolutely surprised me. 100% agree with that sentiment. By the way, these ones from McGill's Big Three that I always do, they are a great way to build that core stability, that ability to brace and hold. That is just so crucial for kettlebelling. This is worth looking into if you're starting out in any kind of health and fitness routine, to build that core strength and that ability to brace your core for all of the movements that we do. And to create that control over the way our body moves when we exercise. These are some of the best exercises we can be doing. Side plank, everybody's favorite core exercise. but we do them anyway. All right. Just going to do a little bit of rotator cuff work. And I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee. 6:42 a.m. By the way, thanks for dropping by, for watching. Hope you're doing well. For those of you who are watching and tuned in, my name is Toby. I'm 40 years old. I'm training to live a healthy, adventurous, and active life. I do that because I've learned and understood that I might live to be 80, 85, maybe even 90, but that those final years of life could be fraught with discomfort and disease. And a lot of that actually is preventable through different lifestyle choices that we could make. And part of that lifestyle, I always talk about sleep and nutrition. Part of that lifestyle is also exercise and making sure that we are keeping the body strong and able, like I say, competent and capable for whatever life is going to throw at me. So that's some of the stuff that I work on a daily basis. So that's something you're interested in, you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel. You know, foundations of health and fitness are relatively simple, right? You just need to sleep well, sufficient. You need to eat well in relation to our goals. If you want to lose weight, there's specific dietary decisions we want to make. If we're trying to gain weight, there are dietary decisions we want to make. If we want to maintain weight, there are specific dietary decisions we want to make. If we want to be strong and fuel performance, right? These are some really good jokes, YouTube punk. No, I never heard of McGill's Big Tree. Dude, it's good to be chatting with you. And I'm happy for all the other people who are dropping by and saying hi. Well, in any case, so health and fitness is simple, it isn't complex, but it is hard and it isn't easy. You have to put some time and effort into learning the skill of being fit and being competent in terms of managing your sleep and regulating that, managing your nutrition. That starts with what you buy in the supermarket, but that also starts with what you know how to cook. That's funny. I lost one of these. Doing left and right. The problem is with my right rotator cuff and shoulder. 9, 10. All right. So, part of learning those skills is engaging in conversations about them. And that's something that we're doing here. And that's something that we should be doing more of on a daily basis with people. So, people I listen to. Rich Roll just did a really good interview with Dr. Cole. I think her name is Rhonda. Forget her last name because I always have the name, I think, of the UFC fighter or something in mind. But they talk about the latest science in longevity and health, and what that means for the types of sports you can do, for the kinds of adaptations that we might be after. And for me, once my shoulder heals, the main goal is to show up every day for 30 minutes and do the work. But I have a couple of very specific objectives in mind. That's one, to be fit and competent for that holiday in the mountains where we're going to be hiking for a month. So that's going to be one. 2, I need to be mindful that I don't put on unhealthy weight. So I would like to shed a little bit of my fat because I'm pushing around 20% body fat. I'd like that to come down to 18, but I struggle with that because I've always been slightly on the heavy, chubby side in life, and I naturally stock a bit more fat. That's also visible. That's fine. It's not a problem. But I think it's a risk in terms of my long-term health goals, because it's easier to go from 20 to 25% than it is from 15 to go from 15% to 25%. So that's a goal related to my long-term health and fitness, where just slowly over time, I'd like to lean down a little bit. And the third goal or objective is to build muscle mass, pack on some more muscle to be able to deal with the loss of strength over time, because bigger muscles means you're generally a bit stronger. And of course, over time, our strength will diminish and decrease. And I want to keep it as high as possible for as long as possible. All right, friends, that was my morning routine at 40 for this morning. I'll be back tomorrow. Check out my channel if you're interested. I talk about life, fitness, fatherhood, career, being a man, being a boy trying to become a man in this world, and all of the challenges we face. I talk about kettlebells, and I have kettlebell follow-along programs on my channel. YouTube Punk, thanks for dropping by. Goga, thanks for dropping by. Poor Man's Jim, I hope you're sleeping well. Was it everybody's friend Jeffrey? I believe. Thanks for dropping by and asking a question. And Johnny D, thanks for chiming in this morning as well. Like I always say, this is not about the way I look, this is about the way I feel. I want to feel fit, competent, and capable for whatever life throws at me. Remember that we're good just the way we are. We have got to love ourselves before we can move on. And the only way to get anything done, friends, is by showing up and doing the work. So I will see you tomorrow. Take care.